Hello, everybody. Isamu Sushi here. And a while back, I had a viewer comment I should do some beginner teaching videos on teaching people how to pick locks as far as beginners go. Problem is, as humbling and flattered as I was, I really do not feel like I'm qualified to teach people how to pick locks. I don't think I've been doing it that long. I mean, I've only been doing it about a year. So I just thought, hey, instead of that, I'll just do a quick video, try to do a quick video showing how I taught myself how to pick. And hopefully that gives other people some direction on where to go, especially that one viewer. Hope you watch. So anyway, as far as picking your locks go, to start, everybody's going to say your M1s, but or master locks. But the feedback is very mushy on almost all of these. You can buy a whole bunch of them, and you might get one of them that has decent feedback. You can feel what's going on, and pick it and learn what's happening. But not so much on 90% of them. So what I recommend generally is going to the Master Lock brass body ones, or the aluminum. So this is the 130s, the 140s, the 150 series. So this is the 131, the 141 because it's aluminum body, but the guts are the same. Still got some security pins. So these will have some spools in them. And I recommend buying a couple, 2 or 3, because they can vary quite a bit. Some of them can be a little bit difficult. Some of them are really easy. So you might get one and just think, I can't pick, and give up. But it might be the lock. It might be a tricky lock. Set it aside, save it for later, come back to it. You'll get it. Also, a warning, I'm trying a dual mic, one underneath the lock so you can hear the clicks, and then also one on me so you can obviously hear me speaking. So headphone warning, I hope it's not too loud, or I don't do any jump scares. So how I start is when I get a new lock. You can see here everything's lining up perfectly. You can see in the video. Now I did add a 6th pin to this. It's normally just the 5, just FYI. But either way, I put my key in and I mark the very outside of the key relative to the lock body itself. You can see there. Okay, now the reason I do that is next, picking your profile. Now, the exact tip profile, totally up to you. Tons of different ones. I go for generally the offset diamond, the forest diamonds, or the flat hooks. I'm going to be using a deep flat hook because American locks, you need to kind of get past some of these pins, and that's where I'll explain choosing your actual pick profile. So once you got your line, you can rest the pick. The pick's going to be on the bottom roughly, or on one of these shelves of the key or the core inside. So you can use that to judge where you're going to be and mark accordingly. However, you can also see, am I going to clear and be able to fully lift the pins back behind without oversetting anything out in front? If you have too short of a profile and you go to lift that back and start oversetting other pins, well, don't even try that in that lock. It's not going to work. You're going to just struggle. So as far as starting out to teaching yourself, this will really help. Then I mark my pick. So I'm going to put the pick directly underneath each notch, and then I'm going to put a mark on the actual pick right over the top of that key mark. Now I'm going to do that for each one of these. In the event that one of them is too high, you can't see where it's at, mark the next one and then split the difference. They're all equally spaced. So you can always jump back. So you could skip one, mark that, and then split the difference and mark in between. Just a quick tip. So give me a sec. Let me get this marked. Okay, and then also, that's pretty sloppy. Also, I have a 6th one, so I need about the same spacing about out there in order to pick up that 6th pin. Once I've got all that figured out, tension wrench. Okay, so you want the tightest fitting tension wrench for your core so that the core moves, but there's no slop in the tension wrench itself. So that's going to be how you want to pick your tension wrench. I personally like the ergonomic ones. Oh, great. I don't even know where it went now. So I was going to use the ergonomic to keep my hand out of the way. There it is. Okay. So I generally go for the ergonomic, but you want the tightest fitting in the keyway. And how much tension you're going to use? We all use too much tension, especially to start. So how much tension do you need? Well, you see that little bit of movement? That's all I needed. The rest is all spring. So you can always put the key in, stick your tension wrench in, push on that tension wrench. That's how much tension you need. And you can see I just barely tap on that and it's unlocked. You can see it's unlocked. All I got to do is overcome that spring and it will pop open. So that's all the tension you need. Give you a good idea how much tension you need with your specific tension wrench. Obviously, the longer, the more leverage you get, so that's going to change a little bit. But if you put your key in, as soon as you feel that unlock, that's it. That's all the tension you need. So once you got your tension wrench and your pick figured out, basically, you can see I got my marks on here. I'm going to put each mark lined up on the very outside of the body. So that should be pin 6. Hopefully I pick up just the last pin. Yep, there you go. Just the last pin is moving. And I think it's set. Okay, there's number 5. And I hope you can see the marks on my pick here. So there's number 5. And you can see I'm directly underneath number 5. And there's number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I wasn't planning on doing a full unlock. I was just planning on showing you, kind of give you an idea so that this video doesn't take too long, but you can kind of see what I mean. You can see exactly where you're at here. So watch my black, there's my black mark. I'm under number 6, which is the last chamber, and there's the last chamber lifting. So then you know what it feels like when you're slip off of a pin, when you're directly underneath a pin, when you're in between 2 pins. This will give you a very good reference point of what it feels like and where you are inside the lock. I kind of still feel like this is cheating, but I still know a lot of good pickers on YouTube that still mark their picks. So, you know, it's just, there's people that just start from the back, you lift all the way, put it in all the way, lift it, and just start pulling back. And you're going to snag each one as you go back. There's other people that like to kind of feel for each one. But when I learned, I wanted to know what it felt like when I was underneath that pin, and directly underneath, and I got a set. Now, you're not going to know viewing like this unless you buy a setup and, you know, but it will give you a very good starting point where to go from there, you know. So start with your master lock, your basic core if you want. I still recommend going to the brass bodies, the 130s, the 140s, the 150s. And then once you get to the 150, that's an orange belt. So the next is green belt. So you could do an American 1100, or there's a lot of other ones on, there's a lot of Brinks, I think, that are fairly decent green belts. And you can go that direction. But this, all the techniques here still apply in those situations. So I hope this helps. Thank you for joining me. To everybody that watched, I love you all. Take care. Make it a good one. We never know how long we're going to be here. So let's make it count.